Hey guys, welcome to Namecast. Today, Nathan and I are going to discuss games coming out in the first half of 2016. Let's get into it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to CGN. My name's Nathan, and this is
Kevin.
And we'll be doing our Namecast today. And it's a new year, Kev. 2016, baby. So we're going to talk about the new games that are coming out and just,
Full year of them.
Yeah, the full year.
Games
Only the
coming
ones
out
that
the
are
whole
kind of
year.
interesting to us. All year. It's going to be 2016 all year. So, Craziness. Start it off, dude.
Mighty Number 9.
Yeah, Inafune's new game.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Little like Mega Man, like, kind of.
No, not Mega Man at all. What are you talking about? Get out of here. You work for Capcom or something? Yes. Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm interested to see what's going on. What's the team that's making that too? Is it Indie Create? They did, I think, Mega Man 9 and 10, so it's in good hands.
Oh, that's good.
And they're also working on Igarashi's new game. He was the guy who made Castlevania Symphony of the Night and a lot of those other Castlevania games, so we'll see if that studio has what it takes. I think they're quite
Big
good.
names for a studio, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Those
Yeah.
games do well. Like,
Yeah, I know.
Then, that'd be awesome for them.
Yeah, probably the only thing on their dream list, I think, at this point now, I saw in an interview, was like to make a Zelda game, which isn't going to happen. But
Yeah.
still, they've hit a lot of the staples, so good for them.
Awesome.
It does look like a faster Mega Man, like almost like a Mega Man X.
Yeah, well, one thing I think about the older Mega Mans are they're clunky.
Very
There's some
obtuse, yeah.
Clunkiness there, so yeah, I kind of like the faster kind of.
Yeah, he's kind of zipping and dashing around. So
Yeah, reminds me of like Symphony of the Night, actually, just like kind of like quicker movement and stuff.
I can get that. I don't know if
Comparison
I've ever had the skill for those games because they're very punishing games, and I'm hoping Mighty Number 9 will be no different because that's kind of really lacking right now for especially that more hardcore.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
good for them. Now next one, Unravel. What do you think of this one?
This is interesting because it's like EA making an indie game.
Yeah, and that's been going on for a little bit now. Like with Child of Light, I think it was.
Yeah,
And like Ori and the Blind Forest, which everyone says is an indie game. It's not indie. It's published by Microsoft.
yeah.
Fuck yourself. No, so I think people are confusing like a smaller game with an indie game. But this is in no way
it's
an
like
indie game.
games a style now instead of like made by an independent studio
I think we should just say
who has a
it's
small revenue. Like that's all like whatever. So it's just like the indie game style type.
yeah. Well, I think as Peter Moore said, which is just such a funny quote, there are no bad games, just bad price points.
Yeah.
So I think this is on the lower end of the price point because it's a smaller game. But if someone charged like $80 for it, like they do in Canada for most games, this would be a terrible game probably
Yeah,
because you're only going to get
definitely.
like 3 hours worth of play out of it.
Yeah.
But it looks interesting. It's really pretty. It's a
Yeah.
character that's made of yarn.
And
Right.
the like lead guy behind it was like so like passionate on stage. I say passionate, emotional is probably a better word.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, do you remember the E3 press conference?
Not specifically on that one, no.
For this one, yeah, he got a little bit teary-eyed. He was super nervous. and
Oh, really?
Everything, yeah, I was so excited to.
Were
jump
people
this game.
dicks or were like they were really
No,
supportive?
everybody was
they were
nice,
good?
yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, it was cool.
Cool.
Good to
Cool.
see.
Yeah, it looks like an interesting game. I haven't seen much played of it yet. I don't know what it
Yeah, me
plays
neither.
like. Is it like a Mario or something or
I think it's like a slower Ori and the Blind Forest type thing.
Yeah, but Ori and the Blind Forest kind of threw people off because if you looked at it, you were like, "Oh, it's just a slow, beautiful game where you go through." No, it's a hardcore Metroidvania.
Yeah,
It's,
Unravel could do the same thing, I
yeah,
guess.
I guess so. I think I saw at one point where he like took bits of his yarn and like threw it onto an object to like grapple.
Mhm.
So I think that's a core mechanic in the game. So yeah, it looks interesting for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Far Cry Primal. I'm pumped for this.
It's
I think
exciting.
It looks good. But when I initially saw it unveiled, I thought it was going to be like a full game in its own right. But now that I'm hearing more about it, it's supposed to be like a smaller side game or something like that. Or?
Yeah, well, it seems like the turnaround on it was relatively quick. So
Yeah,
it might not be
and it's a
full
weird
scale.
release date, right? Like,
Yeah, that as well.
I don't know. Maybe it got pushed from the holiday schedule, but it looks really cool. We're seeing a lot more caveman things come out lately. I think something that really pushed that was like maybe Rust and
Yeah, Rust and
probably Minecraft a little bit.
see what's going on because like we had like the era of like current modern times and the game set in that. Now it's starting to get a little more futuristic, and there's also this like caveman. thing going on.
and it's not the only one. I mean, I wonder if it's even on your list. Kevin, you let me down. Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh yeah, that's the game that's being made by Guerrilla Studios. It looks really. Actually, it's not confirmed for 2016, so that's not why it's on your list. Fair enough. But yeah, that's also in the caveman times kind of, but they have robot dinosaurs. But it's a whole rigmarole that we'll get into some other day. But Far Cry 5 looks cool. The only thing is, so is your only ranged weapon going to be like a bow and maybe a spear? Because Far Cry's always been about more ranged weapons.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how they do that. It might be a little more melee. The melee in Far Cry was never really a fleshed out system or anything, so
yeah, it was never super hot. So it's interesting to see how they're going to do that. I feel like it'll be more brutal, but at the same time, if you don't have many melee weapons, that means your enemies don't have many melee weapons.
Yeah,
or not melee, ranged weapons. So it'd be interesting to see how that plays out. So what do you think of the Division?
The Division game. There's a lot of hype around it. It seems kind of cool, but I think it's going to be real easy to let people down.
I just feel like I've been hearing about that game for the past like 2.5 years.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I feel like it was in development hell for a while or something.
Well, like until like so the E3 before the last one we had, they didn't actually show very much. It felt more like a teaser to me, and I'm like, yeah, we're not going to see this game for a while. So I already had that expectation in my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a lot of people are under the impression.
So what exactly are they promising in this game? From what I gathered from it, it's like a smaller world Destiny, or no? Am I wrong?
Thing is, it's also modern. I don't think they're going as like RPG mechanic heavy.
Oh, okay.
In it either. So yeah, I'm a little bit confused on what the core loop of the game is.
Yeah, because like the only things I've seen for it is like that it has an awesome day-night cycle, which yeah, sure, I'll give it that. You know, the shadow system's great, but what the fuck's the game? I don't know. So I'm a little confused there.
Yeah, just have to wait and see, I guess. Maybe they'll show more before it comes out. Although it's actually supposed to come out Q1.
Slated in Q1?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so around March or so? Or?
February, March.
Yeah. Also, now, what do you think of the Hitman series in general and the new game that'll be coming out?
Never played any Hitman games.
I've played Absolution. I think that was the only one I actually played, and I'm god awful at stealth games. Yeah. So it takes a certain person for a stealth game to be really good at it, and you really have to be methodical and plan your approach and everything. You can't just go in with a pistol popping everyone in the head.
See, that's what I like to do. I just like
exactly.
to show off how good I am at headshots.
Exactly, but no, that will not work in a stealth game at all. No. So I mean, it's great for the hardcore audience. So, more in your realm, I heard Hitman Go made a big splash. Is that on your radar at all, or?
Not really.
No, I'm just curious if that maybe boosted the series' popularity a bit, so that'll make this a bigger title. Tying in a smaller mobile game to the
I'm not sure like how those pan out. Like a few people are trying them. Like a really good example is Fallout Shelter.
Yeah.
That got huge hype because it's like, hey, we're releasing this right now on the App Store at the E3 Breakfast Conference. That got people really hyped up, but I don't feel like how they did the Hitman one really would have caused the same hype train.
Right.
And everything. Yeah, I am interested to see numbers maybe for how much that boosts sales, but like how do you
because at the same time they tried to do it also for the Tomb Raider game that came out, Lara Croft Go, and then I mean they're not releasing official numbers other than saying it's fine, but I think the latest Tomb Raider tanked probably because of when they released it.
Yeah,
there's another game called was it, I don't know, Fallout or something. Yeah, maybe you've heard of it. Anyway,
maybe we just referenced it a minute ago.
Maybe, just maybe. So this next one, I don't think we'll care about Dark Souls 3 at all, will we? No, not at all. Not on the list for us.
If you guys have watched the channel, you obviously know we're really big into Souls and Bloodborne and all that good stuff. So yeah, we're both really excited. We played the network test.
Yeah,
I did a little drinking game with that. We've both been super, super positive. So I want to ask you, what's your biggest fear? What could they do wrong in this game?
What could they? I don't know. See, like I was a little nervous going in, and when we played the network playtest, I was like, this is fine, this is good, this is what I want. But then we saw that boss fight of I don't even know what you're gonna call it, like
the trailer from like a week or two ago.
Yeah, the big vagina that opens up and then kicks you in
the tree thing. Yeah.
I don't think they can fuck it up. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe they've shown their best parts, but knowing how they do these things, I don't think they have. Yeah, really that's the best
part. My biggest concern is that they keep the gritty and desaturated atmosphere through the entire game.
And because one thing I really liked,
one thing I really liked about Dark Souls 1 is that it was really like fantastistical. There's a fair amount of bright colors in the game. There was dark areas too, but there's also the bright colors and
Yeah, and I mean, you can go from like going, I don't know, down in the flame pits down there, and then you can go to like a really gritty kind of swampy shanty town, and then you can go to somewhere like a nice lush forest. You know what I mean? And it's all in the same world. So
yeah, exactly. I like that, and technically, with story wise, it makes sense that it's getting darker and grittier. But I don't think that pays off if you don't have the contrast.
Yeah.
So I hope. They definitely have like High Wall of Lothric, from what we've seen from the gameplay stuff a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
That was like dark and gray as well.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that like there is some sort of contrast, maybe later on in the game, everything brightens back up.
And knowing how they typically do things with their trailers and how they release, how From typically releases footage, everything we've probably seen so far is probably in the first 10% of the game. Normally, so it's hard to know how it's going to change. Like when Bloodborne was coming out, everyone's like, "Oh, it just looks like it's in this one small town like of Yarnum at the very beginning."
It's just a werewolf killing game.
Exactly, but it branches out quite a bit if you play it. You end up in places like Canehurst and the Forbidden Woods, and it changes quite a bit on you.
Yes,
so I don't know. I honestly I imagine they'll have more varied worlds.
Yeah,
I don't see any reason why they wouldn't, but that's a reasonable thing to be worried about.
Yeah,
I guess.
Next game, Ratchet and Clank.
Game. Yeah, I'm really excited for this. I've been a hardcore Ratchet and Clank fan for... Jeez, I feel like I'm an alcoholic. You know what I mean? My name's Nathan, and I've been since... Actually, I didn't like the first one that came out on PS2. But
really?
Yeah. A lot of people loved it. It's just, it didn't quite hook me. But when they released Up Your Arsenal... No, Going Commando, Jesus. When they released Going Commando, that just got its hooks right in me, and it was... Fuck, that game was so awesome.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that you could like level up your guns. There were so many different types of guns, and they just kind of nailed like the around teen level sense of humor.
Yeah.
Really funny game. Really, yeah. I mean, I think it's gonna be good. I think the movie's gonna be trash though. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. Maybe it'll be good. I'm hoping it'll be good, but they're making a Sly Cooper movie as well, aren't they? Yeah. I don't.
We'll see how those pan out.
I don't know.
I'm really excited for the game though.
A video game movie just never tends to go over so hot. The really interesting thing about the new Ratchet and Clank game actually is the fact that it's a reboot, but it's not. Are you aware of this? So essentially, they're remaking the first game, but they're adding in a ton of different mechanics from the new games and different weapons and different enemies. So it's like a reboot, but not at all. But have you seen it? It looks like a fucking Pixar movie.
Yeah.
It looks
amazing,
really pretty.
It's one of those reasons that I want more like artistic vision games instead of like, okay, let's try to make this look really real. I want to see more of that, like, this is a game, everything's animated and hand drawn and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing I'm really hoping for in this next console generation, which I think we're starting to get a lot more of, is colors.
Yeah.
Because last generation was the gray.
Desaturated.
Exactly.
Grays and browns.
So it would look gritty and hyper realistic and Gears of War and whatever. Yeah. Fuck that. No. I want to see something pretty and something just fantastical. And I don't know. It looks prettier when it's something you can't relate to, I find.
Yeah.
Or it's easier to. So I like that, and just run with it.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Star Fox Zero.
Yeah, talk about pretty looking game. Jesus, Murphy.
What a segue.
I mean, it's the best looking GameCube game I've ever seen, though. Seriously, though, it looks like crap.
Fuck. I think there are better looking GameCube games.
I know. Like, it looks like... Why does it look like crap?
I'm not sure. I think they're trying to go for an artistic style there, and it just didn't pan out. Nintendo.
It looks terrible. Like, I don't even know if it will control well, or... I've heard terrible things about it so far.
The gameplay wise, yeah. I heard there's a lot of issues with the gameplay stuff. People are trying it out at E3 or whatever. That all aside, that can be fixed and stuff. It still doesn't make sense. It's like, okay, we're going to do a bunch of different things with Star Fox, and some of the stuff is new stuff you haven't done before.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why are you making this? This isn't what people want. People want Star Fox 64 made good, especially with like the Wii U gamepad. Like, sure, there's cool mechanics that could come into play there. But yeah, they're just not.
So how are they treating the gamepad? Because like, I would just like to, or for something like that, just like a HUD. Like a heads-up display, that'd be great.
Yeah,
but what are they doing?
I don't know.
Oh no, they're not doing like a gyroscope thing,
bet you
are they?
Doing, like, you probably don't need to keep it up like this, but I bet you're going to control your ship with the leaning and stuff.
why are you doing this to me, Nintendo? Why are you doing this?
Every time.
They have something that could be good, and they just shove something down your throat. It's like a fuck. You gotta hurt me. You gotta hurt me like that. You know, you hurt your boy Nathan. No good. It's no good at all. Okay, Uncharted 4.
Yes.
What do you think?
I haven't played any Uncharted games. I left this one in here for you because
Actually, I'm not as big.
a Naughty Dog.
Yeah, but I'm not as big of an Uncharted fan as you would think.
Yeah.
I've played through the end of the second one, the probably the half of the first one, and I don't know, 3/4 of the third one.
Oh, you didn't even finish the third one.
No, I played the end bit.
Yeah.
So I played like 3/4 from the end on, but I didn't play the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're great games. I think Uncharted 4 is going to be good. I actually probably won't even buy it. I think it looks great though. It looks interesting.
I think I might get it if they do like a package one with like the HD remake.
Yeah, because they did release the Nathan Drake collection, but it was pretty expensive. So I was like, I
know. I
it's like
think maybe
$80.
if they pair that up with Uncharted 4, then I'll be like, yeah,
Yeah, for around $100 or something. Yeah, that'd be fair.
A lot of game.
Yeah, a lot of game in there, a lot of time. It's a very pretty looking game. Like the way physics work in there is really cool. Like you can jump down and then like punch someone, and then their gun will just like jump into the air, and you can just grab it and just keep going. And like when people start shooting at the sandbags that are in front of you, like the bullet holes will cause the sand to start falling out, and then that'll start going away on you.
That's cool.
So like as the sandbags get lower, then more bullets can go over for higher.
The deflate. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's really cool the way it works. And now they've introduced that they've just released that PlayStation Experience that there's dialogue options. So I don't know if that means a branching story, because typically it's been a very linear story, and they tell you the story they want to tell you. And I think that's great. I think more developers should be doing that, not going for a build your own story approach, but whatever.
Might be like false choices.
Exactly. So it's not.
That's what I'm guessing it'll be.
It just makes it feel like you're changing it, but you're not actually changing anything at all.
Yeah. What was weird, they did a multiplayer beta.
Yeah, their multiplayer is great though. And like, have you played it?
No, I haven't. But I thought it was weird that they did a multiplayer beta, because they didn't do anything super new with the multiplayer, right?
I think they were just testing the servers, weren't they?
Yeah, I thought they like had that figured out. It seems like a weird thing to do multiplayer beta for.
Yeah,
wasn't much new.
I guess so.
Going on there.
I don't know. I didn't think much weird about that. Apparently, some people actually really love the Uncharted multiplayer. It's very quick.
Yeah,
very quick, and you're just running around, grappling all over stuff, and
yeah, could be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know much more to say about that.
Yeah.
Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Talk about running around, grappling all over stuff.
Yeah, really.
Are you down for this?
They actually made a sequel to Mirror's Edge,
because it didn't sell too hot, did it? But it was like loved.
I think it profited well, actually.
Oh, so what's this thing going on with Mirror's Edge? Because everyone talks about it like it's the true underdog story.
It's because it was the only new Ubisoft IP in like a 5 or 6 year time span or something like that.
Oh, wow.
And then they made it, and it performed decently well considering what it was.
Yeah.
And then they said they weren't going to make another one. So people, everybody wanted another one too. Like, I'm sure there's petitions online that was sent to Ubisoft and everything. So yeah, they actually announced that they.
So did you play the first one? Did you like it, or?
No, I haven't played it actually.
And that's honestly what I get from most people that I talk to. I'm like, they're like, yeah, they're making a second one. So I was like, did you play the first one? No, I just heard about it. Yeah. So I wonder if this one's gonna sell well. I don't know.
I hope so. I think it'll do better than the first one, to be honest. Because
it's not,
now there's the hype and like the cult classicness of Mirror's Edge 1.
So it's not a combat focused game. It's essentially like free running, or is that?
Yeah, it's like free run parkour.
And
hardcore
is it a
parkour.
First person? Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Perspective? Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. Yeah, a buddy of mine was like super into Mirror's Edge.
Yeah.
Like he speed ran it and everything.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the speed run of it's actually really impressive. There's a lot of clipping and stuff.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Pretty awesome. But yeah, I think he's super excited for Catalyst. So
sounds good.
Yeah.
Don't know much more about it, so I don't know much more to say. But something I do have a bit to say about No Man's Sky. And how do you feel about this one? Are you?
Is it going to be a game? That's that's what everybody says. But like, so I bought not Star Citizen, Elite Dangerous.
Yeah.
It's another space sim game, and it doesn't have the procedurally generated worlds,
Yeah.
but it does have this like giant economy system. And I think the giant economy system is more of a game than the procedurally generated worlds.
And I think that's more the game aspect that they're going for in No Man's Sky. But you said, is it a game? Let me throw this at you. Is Minecraft a game?
Yes.
What makes them different?
Minecraft, a player can set their own goals and be
You can set your own
creative.
goals in No Man's Sky, though.
How varied can those goals be? And No Man's Sky is like, I'm going to find a new thing and discover a new thing.
And then you can take part in a space battle and you can upgrade your ship. And there's a lot of little systems going on there that they haven't fully explained yet.
Yeah, that's another thing that concerns me because like Elite Dangerous has space battles and upgrading your ship and all that. And it has this complicated economy system, which I think is deeper than the discovering planets and stuff system. And yet the game, Elite Dangerous, still feels like there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
So I feel like, yeah, No Man's Sky is going to suffer.
Yeah,
as
I don't
well.
know. The only thing that I think will save it, if it's just what we've seen in the trailer so far, is if it is going to be a PlayStation VR title. That'd be like,
Yes,
holy
if it was, it'd be
shit.
amazingly
I think
beautiful.
it's going to be too. Like, I don't know. Fuck, if it's announced, like that's going to be their mic drop moment at E3. If they're going to have one, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be sweet. Very happy.
I don't know. That's one of those ones though. They've been talking about it for so long, yet I feel like they've said nothing. Like they're like, we've shown you the game. I'm like, yeah, but like, what's the game like to actually play and do and just get through it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Crafty there, that's Sean Murray.
We'll see.
Crafty
I hope,
cat.
Yeah, I hope they don't release it and then it end up being boring and people just assume that's what the space sim genre is like.
Right. Yeah. I
Because
don't
like
think it's going to kill the genre.
Yeah, it's seeing this revival with like Elite Dangerous, No Man's Sky, and Star Citizen.
Yeah.
And No Man's Sky is going to be the first one that gets much public attention. So if it kind of bombs, then the whole thing's going to come crashing down.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. Okay. What we got next?
Deus
Deuce X.
Mankind Divided.
Yeah, I've never played a Deus Ex game.
Never played it. Richard actually really enjoyed the last Deus Ex game, and I watched him play a fair amount of it. And they're very interesting games. They're one of the only like really popular and still running cyberpunk
Oh, okay.
games because those were like really popular in like 90s, early
Yeah,
2000s. And yeah, that's the only one still running and surviving. The last one did really well as well.
But there's going to be a cool cyberpunk game coming out by the CD Projekt Red.
Yeah, they are working
Cyberpunk
on one.
20 something. I forget the name of it specifically. but-
2177 or something like that.
Yeah. So I don't know. Will they be coming out at similar times, or is Cyberpunk not?
No, I think
next year?
Cyberpunk's not for a while.
No, it's like 2017 or something. My bad. But yeah, I've heard good things about it. I heard the controls for it were just a little.
Yeah, so maybe if
Not
they
hot.
tighten it up, because I think one of the things that people really liked about the last Deus Ex was that the RPG part of it, all those mechanics were so deep, and it really lets you kind of just like build your own character and play the style you want. So I think if they nail that again and then just polish up controls and stuff.
But I think a counterpoint is you could play the style you wanted for everything except the boss battles, which I heard they outsourced,
Yes.
and they just became you can only do it one way, which kind of was the exact opposite of everything else in the game.
Yeah.
So I imagine they're going to have very varied boss battles, which is interesting because I haven't done much of that in the game. Usually it's like, here's the boss, fight it this way.
yeah.
So it'll be maybe
wonder how
maybe
they
there's a
do
way
that,
to not
though.
even kill a boss.
People say like, yeah, that would be awesome. Normally when people say that though, I just generally get the idea of like boss phases. And this is something that actually Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne did as well. Is just, there's these phases to bosses instead of just making the same thing the whole way through.
Right.
And it is better than just doing the single phase kind of thing, but it's also not really like do it different ways or like really varied
Yeah.
to the boss fight.
Well,
It's just how the boss fight is.
The interesting thing about the boss phases in Dark Souls is like sometimes you won't even trigger a specific phase for that boss. Like,
Yeah.
let's say for Seath in Dark Souls 1, if you don't cut off his tail, like he can still whack you with that tail. But once you cut it off, then he can't hit you with it. So it totally changes the way you'll approach the fight.
There's good interactivity there. We'll see. I'd like much more complicated systems in Deus Ex, I think.
Yeah.
Such as, ways to skip the boss or... I think a lot of it's just like setup things. If I can do a bunch of setup before the boss to get the boss fight to go a certain way for
Right.
me, then that's really cool.
Okay. Cool. And Ukulele.
So excited.
The best rare game that isn't a rare game.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
actually, the best rare game in a while that isn't a rare game, I should say. Yeah, definitely a return to form. A lot of the guys from Rare
Yeah.
working on this. Yeah.
So excited. Return of the 3D platformer.
So how do you feel about the fact that
Collectathon
they
games?
used Kickstarter to get it? Because I feel like they could have gotten a publisher on their side.
I imagine they probably could. One thing, maybe just like the money to get themselves started,
Right.
is probably where the issue laid, and to like fund their salaries for the next couple of years. Because these are all guys that were like in the games industry.
Right.
They got used to like living on this very consistent paycheck that they had while working with bigger companies and Rare and whatever.
And then Microsoft just crushed them into nothing and made them work on like avatars or something.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's gross Connect stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like you can't just like quit your day job and just go start making another game. That's like
Right.
such like a fantasy type thing, yet people kind of expect it from developers and stuff. So I think that's where Kickstarter comes in.
Right.
It lets people actually do that and still like be able to live, keep paying their mortgage and
And
all that
at
stuff.
the same time, I mean, if you ask someone now, they'd say, "Of course, I want a collectathon." But when they were thinking about this, like, what they probably had this in the old noggin there, like 3 years ago. Fuck, do people still want collectathons? That would be a good question to ask for them. So I think this is really the way of testing the waters to be like, do people actually want this? Like what Tim Schafer with Double Fine, what they did with adventure games. Like,
Yeah.
do people want adventure games? Well, yeah, fucking yes, they do. Like every big game right now is an adventure game. Fuck
Yep.
Telltale,
Yeah, that's
tossing
true.
them out left, right, and center. So just testing the waters. There's probably going to be a lot more collectathons coming out in the future.
Yeah, I think a lot of the success that they see is really going to depend on if they market towards children or not as well. Because they are definitely going for the nostalgia vibe. They've shown a lot of that. But I think they also need like the younger kid market on that. Like what we were when we
Yeah.
originally played
I don't
like
see any reason-
Banjo-Kazooie and stuff.
I don't see any reason why kids won't go towards it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's cute, right? Like it's chameleon and a bat. It's
Yeah, I think
it's
So if
cute.
they nail the marketing for it, then I think
Yeah.
they'll see success.
Cool. So we're gonna call this one here, and we'll see you guys more in the new year.
Yeah, 2016, be great.
Cool. Night, guys.